So let's stand here for a second. Notice that we cannot stop the woman from going back and forth. She will alter her path, no matter what. So to kickstart a large part of what's going on in this game, let's go beat up the robot. Actually, we don't want to beat up the robot yet because I don't want to do it with just Chrono in my party because he'll get mauled. And we'll have to go back to heal. But we can stand here, and we can interfere with the young woman's path all we want. But, it's not going to change anything. We're going to have to smack into her. Like that, which sends her pendant flying to the ground. Welcome to the first of, well, not the first, but the second or third of many, many things. You're going to have to pay attention to not do the wrong thing. And, you know, because you don't want Chrono to get declared guilty later. So he needs to be on his best behavior. So being on his best behavior means that if he knocks a girl over in the fair and sees her pendant go a-flying, and she's going ouch afterward, we still check with her first. We still say hi to her first. We get her pendant and immediately run back to her. And we do not tell her she cannot have it back. And then we offer to escort her around because we want to be a gentleman. Much like Gonta. We even have similar hair. And so the girl wants to tell you her name, stammers a bit, and tells you that it is Marl. Meet party member number 2 of the 3 I am forced to use for this game. Keep it and sell it for Taco Bell money. Yeah, you want him to be guilty. No. So now we have a party member. Marl, in combat, will use bows. There are a few things we could do now that Marl is in our party. What happens if he's guilty? Not a whole lot different. I will explain it when we get there. And now meet what many consider to be the best character in the game with the best song. They call me Gato, I have metal joints. Beat me up and earn 15 silver points. So now, we're going to have to put up with this. Because the robot has a counterattack. But we should have enough to easily survive, you know, one round. Notice that when Marl shoots it, it still backhands Chrono. And it knocks Chrono out. So Marl was the only one that got experience. And a tech point. Yes, as you fight enemies, you get hit points, or you get experience and tech points. And I don't know exactly how these lines fit this flow of this song. Not exactly. Oh no, I have lost, and it seems you've won. Here are your 15 points, now wasn't that fun? Something like that. Although we had a full card. So yeah, there's that. And Chrono is at 1 hit point now. If we really needed to heal, we could go back home. And I think I will. Because oddly enough, you don't get judged for this. You do not get judged for dragging Marl all the way out here. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk to you and get you extra money. And we can embarrass Chrono. I assume Marl's just going to sit in a chair while Chrono takes a nap there. Are there furries in the game? I'm not sure if... I don't know. I do not know if there is a character that you could consider furry in this game. Frogs don't have fur. So anyway, and that's a hint that you could probably talk to, I thought that was actually called Scaly. I thought they actually had different names for non-furry anthropomorphism. So we'll bet on the cat. Because the cat's going to get beat. See, there's G.I. Jogger out in front now. Cat falling way behind. So that's a sure way to make sure someone you don't like loses. Bet on them. At least as far as I'm concerned. Ah, and we get the message that Luca's device is all set up now. And Marl wants to get some candy. So now we just sit here. We do not interact with her. If we turn around and poke her while she's looking at candy, that will come back to haunt us. But we will just sit here and wait until she says she'd like one of these. And now that we have patiently waited for her to get candy, we can continue. So now let's actually dig into a little bit of the plot. We can come back to the fair later, and we can do that tent later, and in fact we will have to. Hey, K-Tech. In fact, we will have to come back to do things at the fair. But for now, step right on up. Anyone with the time and courage. Our first ever hyperdimensional transporter is the invention of the century. Simply hop up here, and you'll be teleported here. This fantastic machine is the masterwork of my beautiful and brilliant daughter, Luca. Blah, 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 blah. So anyway, those two are now going to stare off into deep space while we sit here and do absolutely nothing, because we have to go initiate things. But I found it kind of funny. In the video for for Peaceful Days we did, one of the artwork featured Luca and Tabin, those two right up there, on a truck. Because, well, they were hauling the teleporter equipment to the fair and getting it set up. And this was what someone in the comment pointed out. It's like, I can't believe there's a truck here. Someone actually made the comment, took the time to make a comment complaining about the fact that we put a truck in an art scene. And everybody else is like, seriously? We're talking about a girl who invented a matter teleporter. There are mecha dragon tanks in this world, and you're worried about the existence of one internal combustion engine truck? Anyway. Yeah, so Luca has a bit of a reputation. Her inventions, while grandiose, are kind of problematic to, exploding. You'll see. You'll see what teleport means. So yeah, nobody really wants to go up there. What's the challenge? The Chrono Trigger Holiday Challenge. Basically, if you can see right underneath the banner over there that has my name and then 3 characters off to the side, in this case, Chrono, Marl, and Magus, the challenge is by March 21st to have played and beaten the game with that party as much as possible. You'll know that you won't always have this party available. In fact, Magus won't be available until quite a ways into the game. And Marl will be unavailable for bits and pieces of the game, etc., etc. Chrono will even be unavailable for bits and pieces of the game. Boy, I hope we will not become a hybrid with the butterfly. I really don't. I really hope so. But basically the challenge is just to beat the game with those 3 characters and use them as much as possible. Right now that's not a problem because we don't really have choice of who our party is yet, but we will. So Luca's happy to see Chrono. Nobody wants to try her teleporter. Marl is fantastically excited about this. She's dying to see this boy she just literally had a collision with running into. Get his atoms scrambled and sent across the room here. And it works! And he's like, it worked! Unbelievable! They never! Yeah, as I was saying, Luca's done it again, ladies and gentlemen. You just watched it. As we try to leave, Marl decides she wants to try it out. And Luca teases us about it. I'm sure everything will be fine. Uh-oh, the music. And her pendant. I'd hop off there. I really would. Too late. So yeah, Marl just kind of vanished into a big swirly thing. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure she'll be back any second now. There's nothing to see here. Move along. Just move along. Yeah, sure. Try convincing people of this. Yeah, so, us being us, we're not going to abandon Marl to her fate. We're gonna follow her, because we are smart anime protagonists. Also, we know this was the right choice because the music immediately changed. More power! Thank God her machine's durable. Thank God it didn't fry like half the circuitry when that pendant reacted to it. Pretty tunnel. So, where are we? Oh, we're getting attacked. That's where we are. Luckily, these blue imps are kind of on the pushover side of things. They're still going to get some hits in on us, because of course they are. And come to think of it, I probably should have actually spent some time grinding up a little bit of money at the fair and buying a helmet. But I spent long enough explaining things and getting the silver points with the drink. Besides, Chrono was fast enough, at least for this very early part. And we learned Attack. We learned Cyclone. And found another potion, which is going to be really, really handy. And a Power Glove. Which a simple cloth headband is nice and speedy. But we can increase strength, which is much more important than speed at this point. With some luck, we will be able to find some stat boosting items that will negate the need for speed boost. But see here, there are enemies, like right there, kicking another thing back and forth. And they aren't going to bother us. They are more content to just play their little game of kickball and let us walk on by. And we can let them do that, except we kind of need the experience. But all encounters you see are going to be like this. You will see the enemies on screen. There will be times when they hop out of like the bushes or fall down from above to attack you, but in general, all opponents you see will be right here. He's going to actually get a few licks in there. But we critted on him. And you will see that little double slash he did was a crit. And yes, I probably could have used Cyclone on them to speed things up. But I also apparently missed a little bit of the map down there. I don't know if that's just the way in, isn't it? Oh well. So, our little marker that said 1000 AD has been replaced by a question mark. And, the overworld here looks kind of the same. I mean, that's Truce, like our home was. There's a cathedral that isn't there in the, you know, in wherever we were. The forest is still here. But Chrono's home is not here. So it's safe to say something is not the same. Especially since we just came out of a mountain where the fairgrounds used to be. So yeah, something's changed. Let's go look in at the inn. Huh. Funny, someone said something about the Fiend Lord in a war in the past, but... Huh, the Fiend Lord. They found Queen Lean wandering up in the canyon, huh. And meet Toma. Some people might consider him to be the best character in the game. He's an explorer who wants a round of soda pop. Or in this case, mug. In the Super Nintendo version, they only drank soda pop because, well, that's the thing. So most of us that play this game just kind of giggle. But it's pretty obvious here they're actually serving up tankards of ale. Or something like that. But the missing queen, he's learned that something at the cathedral is kind of important there. Except for the fact that I found the queen in the canyon. So we apparently asked this guy about the fair, and he's like, "Are you crazy? This isn't time for that. We're at war." But I apparently can't talk to the barkeep. Not directly. But we are apparently still in Guardia, who's waging war with the Fiend Lord's army. So if we tell him we knew about that, he just kind of says, then you should probably have better manners than to not waste everyone's time with stupid questions. We could say at the end. And... that box. Still sealed shut. All the boxes here are still sealed shut like the ones where we came from. Somebody hammering away on a bell. Forging a bell at the king's behest for Queen Lean. Kinda funny, we called that bell Lean's Bell back at the fair. Husband wants a daughter clever and fair. Nobody's connected those two little, that little island down there, huh? There's no ferry. I mean, this kinda looks like Guardia. Let's go check the cathedral out. Deliver your judgment upon the weak and undeserving. These are some very harsh sisters. Who call us delicious looking. Nothing suspicious here. Moving on. And yeah, that is a very destroyed bridge. They're looking for Sir Cyrus, huh? Little bit of Seventh Guest music flashbacks. I would not be surprised if they took inspiration from that game. This game was released after Seventh Guest. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the people took some inspiration from it. Oh look, it's more of these guys. Ow. kicking me in the face with a rock. That's rude. Well, it's kind of more rude just to outright murder me. Notice the goblin is just sitting there sticking his tongue out at us. So we gained a level, which is good. Now that I'm here, we should probably actually go to the market. And let's see. That cost $350. Bronze helm would be an increase, and you can tell it's an increase because the numbers are blue. Up at the top you can see the increase in attack and defense. The padded vest would also be an increase, which will just about break us. But right now it's worth it. We can equip from here. We can sell that and get a little bit of money back. So that get a little bit of money back. So now we're not dead flat broke. Did we look in here? No, we didn't. So we're not the 33rd, we're now the 21st. King Guardia the 21st, and the kingdom is only 600 years old. So it appears we have gone back 400 years in the past. Stop moving through me. It's creepy. Respect my personal space. So let's go spend 10 gold. Now that we've kind of been kitted out. I don't want to overwrite that save because it is a very good save. If I ever need to do anything for any specific reason, I can go back to that and play New Game Plus. So we'll save here. That was the data file I used to record footage for the musical, by the way. Just to let you know. Okay, let's go back to exploring this place now that we got slightly better equipment. And notice our sword now has a gray blade instead of a brownish yellow blade. So when you equip new weapons, you will get to see some cosmetic changes in the sprites. How did that not kill you? Oh goody, the glowy thing was a trap. Luckily, it's a trap by a fairly weak monster. Still gonna pack a punch, but you know. And you will have to forgive me because I don't remember where all the hidden tabs, for those of you that know the game pretty well, I don't remember where all the hidden tabs and where all the treasure chests are, or capsules in this case. Obtain strength capsule, which is basically an item that Chrono's going to swallow immediately. Basically, it gives you 1 strength point forever. And considering Chrono's going to be in our party, he's a good bet to actually use the tabs. And they're called tabs originally, so I'm probably going to keep calling them tabs. But they are capsules now. I could be using Cyclone to try to finish them all off at once. But I only have 10 magic points right now. And Cyclone takes 2, so I only have so many uses of it, I get. We can find accessories later. And there's that enemy. Every time we leave and come back to this area, we can go up here and push him out of the chest, push him out of the bush, and he will give us a free shelter. Which is kind of nice. Although lurking in that bush is not one of those enemies, it's that thing. Sometimes combat goes quickly. Sometimes it doesn't. Oh, good birds. Yeah, too late. But the birds are a good fight because they give you panaceas, which, just as a refresher, they are the status ailment cures, which are very, very handy to have, as you might guess, because statuses are a thing to deal with. And way back here, there's another one of these mysterious chests that we cannot open yet. So we just march right on into the castle in our futuristic garb with a sword at our side and get halted by the soldiers. And the guards kind of threaten us. Except the queen apparently disapproves of them threatening us. Who calls us her friend. And who giggles about it. And who looks awfully familiar. So yeah, we've never met the queen before. That doesn't make any sense. Why would the queen care about us? We can rest for free here, and we'll do so because we were kind of beaten up. Yes, only manly men army guys can pull off purple armor. Even though purple was a royal color. So we've never heard of a dude named Cyrus, so our village is depraved apparently. So there used to be monsters in the western forest, but then once the cathedral was built, all the monsters went away. But Cyrus was the commander of the knights, and I couldn't read that. But yeah, he and the lone friend departed from a quest. No one's heard from him since. Relief. The queen has been found. And something tells me that that's not quite accurate. Something tells me something's wrong there. Dude, I've seen the bridge. The bridge is kind of busted up. I don't think it held. So yeah, this place is in a war, and it's apparently not going all that well. And the master of kitchens. Oh boy, you're drunk. No, you're just dying of hunger. And you found life! Nom nom nom. I guess it's a little different than gobble, snarf, snap. So if we are actually hungry and we actually need to replenish some hit points or magic points, and we don't feel like resting, we can pop in here. Wait for a second. And we can have salad, stew, or roast. Let's go with roast. I think they had to kill the thing. Yep, that's a roast. So instead of eating it, we're just going to charge the table at it. And get chased out of the kitchen by the chef. And what in the name of all that's good is this ice cream that Her Majesty wishes I prepare? But there's a chest with the ether in it. Ether is magic restoration, and somewhat rare and to be found in this game. You can buy it, don't get me wrong, but kind of difficult to find in places. So the commander comes in here and demands his food and drink. Yeah, so the commander and the chef are brothers. They just kind of are kind of at each other's throats a lot. So you know, there's that. I'm not sure about that, but I'll take the gratitude. Lean is acting oddly, huh? So before we go see the Queen and find out exactly what's going on, if you haven't figured it out already, let's, oh look, another sealed chest. Chancellor not too happy to see us. The Queen's personal guard, the froggish creature, has not been around. And they kind of think that the rumor is that a curse turned him into a frog. But this guy thinks that the frog may be one of the Fiend Lord's spies. And he also goes to the cathedral every day. Yoink. So let's head up to the Queen's room. Taking all the stuff we can along the way.